of life of our people and improve the city management. To implement artificial intelligence, it will require new skills and new knowledge from our employees. We have to learn new technologies, which are now just in its initial stage, and we have a lot of contradictions, but this is the evolution, and we have to go through this evolution together. We have to share best practices, and we have to improve the methods of measurement. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's get to the exchange, experience exchange, and share our ideas. And I think that people at this table, representatives of different cities, countries, and places. Now we have Turkish Republic with us. They are very, very good partners of Republic of Tatarstan, and we will listen to address of the mayor of Konya city, the executive president of Mr. Uygur Ibrahim Altay. So.
İlsur Metşin, Sayın Belediye Başkanları, kıymetli katılımcılar. Türkiye Selçuklu Devleti'nin kadim başkenti Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi'nin şehri Konya'dan hepinizi saygı ve sevgiyle selamlıyorum. Her yıl başarılı bir şekilde gerçekleştirilen Kazan Dijital Haftası etkinliği, alanında uzman pek çok kişiyi bir araya getirerek ve değerli tecrübelerin paylaşımına olanak sağlayarak katılımcılara ilham verici bir deneyim sunmaktadır. Dijital teknolojilerin önemini anlama ve uluslararası yeni işbirlikleri kurma gibi pek çok avantaj sağlayan bu etkinliği gerçekleştiriyor olmasından büyük bir memnuniyet duyduğumu ifade etmek isterim. Günümüz dünyasında teknolojinin hızla gelişmesi, şehirlerin teknolojiyle daha verimli ve sürdürülebilir hale getirilmesini zorunlu kılmaktadır. Bu noktada yapay zeka, şehir yönetimine dönüştürme potansiyeliyle ön plana çıkmaktadır. Şehirlerin giderek daha fazla nüfusa ev sahipliği yaptığı günümüzde, kaynakların etkin kullanımı ve sürdürülebilirliği süreçlerinde önemli bir itici güç haline gelen yapay zeka, şehir yönetiminde birçok kolaylık sağlamaktadır. Büyük miktardaki veriyi hızla analiz ederek anlamlı bilgiler ortaya çıkaran yapay zeka sayesinde trafik yoğunluğu, su ve enerji tüketimi gibi konularda şehir yöneticileri kaynakları daha etkin bir şekilde kullanma imkanına sahip olabiliyorlar. Yapay zeka aynı zamanda halkın görüşlerini ve taleplerini analiz ederek şehir yöneticilerine daha iyi bir perspektif sunma potansiyeline de sahiptir. Diğer yandan doğal afetler veya acil durumlar sırasında hızlı tepki vermek de hayati önem taşımaktadır. Yapay zeka, büyük veri analiziyle acil durumları hızla yönetebilme, halkı yönlendirme ve bu konuda kaynakları daha etkili bir şekilde kullanma konusunda da şehirlere ciddi bir katkı sağlamaktadır. Görüldüğü üzere yapay zeka, hayatımızın neredeyse her yönünü etkileyen, dönüştüren ve şekillendiren bir güç haline gelmiştir. Teknolojiden otomotive, sağlıktan tarıma, enerjiden hizmet sektörüne, üretimden finansa kadar birçok sektörde etkili bir şekilde kullanılmaktadır. Bu anlamda Konya şehrinin Büyükşehir Belediye Başkanı olarak çağın gereksinimlerine uyum sağlamak ve şehrimizin gelişimini desteklemek adına yapay zekanın önemine büyük bir değer verdiğimi belirtmek isterim. Teknolojinin hızla evrildiği bu dönemde yapay zekanın şehir yönetimi ve hizmetlerinde ne kadar önemli bir role sahip olduğunu biliyor ve Konya modeli belediyecilik anlayışımızı bu bilinçle şekillendiriyoruz. Anadolu'nun kültür ve medeniyet başkenti Konya'mızı akıllı şehir konusunda da bir başkent haline getirmek için bugüne kadar 200'e yakın vizyon projeyi şehrimizin hizmetine sunduk. Teknolojiyi kullanırken odağımıza önce insanı ve sonra doğadaki tüm canlıları alarak stratejimizi buna göre geliştirdik. Yapay zekayı etkin bir şekilde kullandığımız akıllı şehir uygulamalarımız hem ülkemizdeki diğer şehirlere hem de dünyaya örnek teşkil etti. Aynı zamanda her yıl yüz binlerce vatandaşımızın belediyemize gelmeden işlerini çözmesini sağladık. Tüm bunlarla sınırlı kalmayarak 2030 Konya Akıllı Şehir Strateji ve Yol Haritası'nı oluşturarak akıllı şehir konusunda 2030 vizyonumuzu ortaya koyduk. Bir yıl boyunca yürüttüğümüz kapsamlı çalışmalar sonucunda meydana gelen 2030 Akıllı Şehir Yol Haritamız 250 paydaş kurumun katkılarıyla vücut buldu. Yapay zeka başta olmak üzere 142 farklı vizyon projeden oluşan bu yol haritası aynı zamanda belirli kriterlerde Türkiye'nin ilk yerel akıllı şehir stratejisi olma özelliğine de sahiptir. Bu projelerle şehrimizin teknolojik altyapısını güçlendirecek, yaşam şartlarını ileri seviyeye taşıyacak, akıllı şehir kültürünü yaygınlaştıracak ve bu alandaki kapasitemizi sürekli geliştirerek sürdürülebilir olmasını sağlayacağız. Böylelikle hem bizden sonraki nesillere çok daha güçlü bir Konya'yı miras bırakmış olacak, hem de bu alandaki çalışmalarımızla dünya şehirlerine örnek teşkil edeceğiz. Değerli katılımcılar, bu düşüncelerle sözlerime son verirken Konya Büyükşehir Belediye Başkanı ve UCLG Executive President'ı olarak tüm şehirleri, yapay zeka ve dijital teknolojileri şehir yönetiminde daha fazla dikkate almaya ve çalışmalarını bu yönde sürdürmeye davet ediyorum. Kazan Dijital Haftası etkinliğinin gerçekleşmesini sağlayan ve bu sürece katkı veren herkese yürekten teşekkür ediyor. Toplantımızın hayırlara vesile olmasını diliyorum. Sizleri en kalbi duygularımla selamlıyorum. Barış ve esenlik içinde kalın.
Да, благодарим господину Игору Ибрагимовичу.
Mr. Rugur Ibrahim Altay, thank you very much. We would like to remind that Konya 2030 is openly accessible online. You can take a look, you can use that. And as the distinguished mayor of Konya have invited, you can enter the discussion and make some proposals of your own. Today, around at the table that we are having a regional mayor, guest, deputy governor of Yugra, Paul Igorovich Zaporin, who will be presenting on the topic called LLM, and I needed to take a look at, and my internet told me that it's large language models. In that sense, large language models have something to do with neural network. I'm curious to hear how are those large language models are useful to municipal management. Well, Dmitry Khanty-Mansiysk continue surprising you both in Khanty-Mansiysk and Kazan. We are grateful to the leadership of the Republic for invitation, for organizing the event. It's second day we are here. Not first time in Kazan, but it's the second day in a row. I am happy to see and hear from all the members the way they're impressed. Impressed with the way Kazan is beautiful and clean and welcoming. Budgets of ours, I would say, probably more or less the same per capita. Looking, as Ilsorich has already said, neural networks are being used in Moscow, in Kazan, in other cities. And leading cities are, of course, using the neural networks. Chatbots are being used since 2018, our neural network in Khanty-Mansiysk. It's called Vika. I guess female names will be used up. I guess we will start using Tatar names to name those chatbots eventually. And we have linked it with our single call center. And if the resident of Khanty-Mansiysk is calling at 122, they are being routed to this voice assistant Vika, and this assistant is asking in a tender voice, what are you interested in? And it covers 82% of requests, only 18 going to operators. At the peak of COVID, you were having about 6,000 calls on related to COVID at 222. We have calculated that if we would have had humans processing those calls, we would have need to hire about 120 people, equipment, training, and then when the peak would be over, you would have to think of what we do with those people later, the staff. Vika worked quite fine. Vladimir Putin has stated that we should be moving to large language models. Now, next level, from the point of view of us, the IT people, those in the LLM, in March of 2023, there was a big breakthrough. You might have heard about ChatGPT, some 60 billion neural networks, and Sberbank is having about 30 billion nodes. We are seeing the future in here, and we are now using those generative models, large language models, in managing, be it municipal, be it regional economy. Where are we going? Where are we seeing the prospects for ourselves? At the moment, we are having a department inside our regional management, which is working on the improvements of the generative models. The main dimensions, we are working on the neural assistant of the governor, easier. We understand that a governor or a mayor of a large city doesn't have time to be calling on his aides, analysts, explaining to them what he or she wants, etc., and then waiting when they come back. We believe that neural assistant should be providing that data, analytical data reports on the fly. There should be one single button that allows you to give the task and get the answer. Neural assistant on working with the regulatory acts. It's not a secret that we are having a different federal, regional, and then municipal acts, and you are having the data lake to work with, and then to be bringing in various changes and then accounting for them, etc. So what we are doing now is that making sure that our generative model will be able to shape, say, the drafts of the new specific themed acts, bringing in changes as well as updating, advising neural network of information security and the generative model for low resource languages. Is something that we worked on. The first one, neural assistant of the governor. We very well understand that if we are talking about ChatGPT, it's a language model developed on the free information accessible on the internet. If some of you have used ChatGPT, you might see that not always the answers are reliable. Generative model, if it does not know the answer to some specific question, it can invent its own answer. We have seen that, so we have developed our own LLM using our own servers, our own resources, and we are feeding our model with our regionally generated data. We want to give as much data from our systems, and when the first persons, being the governor, the mayors of respective cities, will be asking questions to the neural assistant, the neural assistant would be using a model to give the quick as a neural network, going through architecture standard. If necessary, it gets connected into our generative model, transformed into text. Text was marked. It was then provided to the model. It responded, and that went with voice. And we believe that neural networks and language models should have some interface that allows you some exterior so that you can interact with that as with a human. Talking about information security, a special model on that. As a data, we have input all the security, info security orders, laws, etc., put into the system. Thus, whenever some alarm is sounded, the neural network is quickly communicating what way should that be dealt with, talking about oil and gas, we are also looking at their security aspects. And generative model for low resource languages may be of interest to Republic of Kazakhstan. We know that Khanty-Mansi are under 30,000 speakers of those languages. We very well understand that majority of them are living in the cities. Only 1,600 are living traditionally in the forests. Language is being lost, and to prevent loss of the languages, we are teaching the generative model to Khanty-Mansi. In 2024, the neural network will be giving tales, teaching traditional crafts in the languages of Khanty-Mansi, and making sure that it teaches to think the way the traditional languages. If you would have had Elon Musk with us, who is very much against OpenAI, and he says that the time is close when your assistant of governors will understand that they don't need the governors. But that's obviously about the question about security questions. Do you have a turn off button for a neural assistant? I told you about the button. Okay, thank you very much. Right now, we are giving a round of applause, of course, and then we are moving to wonderful city of Perm. With us is the head of this wonderful city industrial center of Ural. Second year in a row, the leadership of that city is taking part in Kazan Digital Week. The floor is given to the head of the city of Perm, Eduard Sosnin. Digitalization, new opportunities for investment. Eduardovich. Look, they're having Vika as an assistant in Khanty-Mansi. Do you have some tender female name for you? Well, we are pleased to be looking at our colleagues, and we would be happy to share the developments that are capable to be adapted. Now, if colleagues would share Vika, we'll be happy to give her home to her as well. Wonderful. What are the new opportunities for investments that digitalization is opening up? Thank you very much, Dmitry Anatolyevich Suraisovich. Thank you for the chance to speak. The digitalization is offering new opportunities. Perm is not an exception. Introduction of digital technologies is making the city more comfortable for its residents. Some of the city projects are being implemented in Perm. An important step was the digitalization of public transportation, smart lighting project covering main streets of the city, and others altogether allowed us to become the 7th in the Urban Environment Quality Index, as well as Index of Digitalization of Urban Economy. Russian cities IQ for 2022. Digitalization is important not only in the municipal administration, but also for the urban economy as well. Quite a lot of investment. The total of 100 in billions, or 135,000 rubles per capita. The city has everything in place to attract investments, but the main tool for attracting investors is the investment portal of Perm Krai. As a Minister of Economic Development of the region, I was taking part in the improvement thereof, and right now using it very much as head of the regional capital. The portal is supporting the investors and finding investment platform prospects for development in the city of Perm. And such digital platform allows the investors to get all the information about the potential, about expected profitability. For example, in the segment called Investor Support Regions, support measures is providing information about the possibilities of the region, the city, and the country, and more. For example, it would hint you where to find qualified staff. A video of Invest Perm. Everything is possible in one click thanks to your renewed investment portal of Permsky Krai. And the main page, the investors can offer their project to the governor of Permsky Krai and get the information about the region, geographic and socioeconomic advantages. Open interaction is a possibility to ask a question to the investment development agency directly and agree on the meeting with the leadership. A portal opens up the possibilities and functions of investment development agencies. A single window. An investor's guide allows access to necessary information for developing business in the region. Automatic selection allows the investor to get support measures meeting the needs of the project, as well as contact data of responsible staff that can consult. The investment map is offering over 300 sites ready for location of industrial and other sites. Using various filters, investors can find an investment site that are meeting the parameters of their project. Site information page gives all the data necessary for decision-making, engineering infrastructure, cadastre, figure, location, options. Over 30 layers of spatial data is available to users. For those who don't yet have a business idea but want to implement an investment project, the portal proposes some investment ideas that are projects that are having a description, economic model, link to specific investment site. Investment portal is opening up significant opportunities for public-private partnership in Permsky Krai, informing about other investment projects being implemented and success stories. Users can take a look at the strategy of development of Kama River region, as well as prospective economy industries that are generating a greater share of the regional GDP. You can click on a specific municipal district or urban district and get main information about the municipality, ask questions to their respective investment supporter specialist. The portal is communicating regional legislation in the area of investment, speaking about regional investment standard. All important information on one single resource, investment portal of Permsky Krai, online guide for businesses. And in conclusion, I'd like to state that in line with the recommendations of the Ministry of Economic Development of the Russian Federation, every region of the country is implementing this year regional investment standard, but all, and particularly large cities, should also look at the municipal investment standard that would be actively developed coming year, and Perm will engage in this investment program because digitalization is important not only in the urban economy, the work of AI or the investment services. Digitalization is also important when working with investors. I guess no questions, maybe a comment. Dmitry, if I may, I would like to congratulate my colleague with 300th anniversary of Perm. They are doing important work, and we are gathering together with the Association of the Cities of Volga to travel on the 6th of October on the invitation of colleagues from the leadership of the region, and you're having feedback of people who are living there that Perm is transforming on the flight, and AI implementation will help them to do that even better. Thank you. I'd like to say a few words about Investment Development Agency. But the first statement is that Air is Turkic. It has roots in ancient Scythian language. It is courageous, decisive, etc. Maybe you have looked at analogies when choosing the acronym for this agency. Thank you for the presentation. Airs are quite courageous in achieving their objectives. So may I wish the same to you. Thank you very much. Please come us for a visit. Wonderful city. I've been to it. At the moment, we are not moving to Ulan-Ude because the mayor of the city of Ulan-Ude Igor Shutenkov is with us. What would you talk about, Igor Igorevich? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear participants, dear friends, dear colleagues. First of all, I'd like to express my thanks for taking part in this large-scale and important event. This international forum, Kazan Digital Week, is a wonderful event. The world is not standing still. The forum has turned into an important platform for meeting producers as well as users of this wonderful products. Why users? Because they are having the experience of using those products. As a mayor of the city of Ulан-Ude, the capital of Republic of Buryatia, I'm very happy to be taking part in this round table, exposed to the work of my colleagues, the best experience in this regard.
And with new technologies. And as for Ulan-Ude, I have to say that this city is not big. We're not megapolis. We have about 500,000 people in our city, but every year we are getting bigger and bigger. We get more people, we get more bigger transportation system, and nowadays we are finishing the third stage of implementation of the intellectual public transport system. We have a surveillance system, CCTV, and it helps us to. And now artificial intelligence helps us to monitor traffic on the central streets. And our traffic grew 17% on rush hour. And basically, as a final result, we plan to have 5% increasing traffic efficiency. So also, we can help people to plan better their schedule for the public transportation, and we have special planning for the road work with the help of artificial intelligence. And in our city, technological digital management is implemented in our biggest enterprises, and such as aviation plant, and helicopter plant, our meat processing company, which produces a very high quality meat products, and of course we use a lot of AI assistance in different kind of digital management programs in utility companies, for example, in our libraries, in medicine. And I want to say that the artificial brain, artificial intelligence in our business helps us to, in agriculture, helps us to, for example, grow the artificial leather, artificial skin, and it helps us to save people's lives. So I believe that it's very important to have a system of continuous learning. I visited today the exhibition Digital Kazan, and I know exactly what we'll ask Kazan to share with us in Buryatia, and we will show you what we achieved. And I think that this kind of event is very useful for us, and thank you very much for the possibility to be here to see not just technological achievements, but also very rich culture in this area, hospitable area. Well, thank you very much, and I think I will express opinion of everybody here, and I think people will agree with me. They who would say that I would like to take a piece of Kazan and Tatarstan with me. So you came here to share experience. We're ready to share with you. Yes, we will tell you whatever you want, explain to you. So yes, Ulan-Ude not big, but it's getting bigger. Now we move to the city which used to be small, but now it's big, and has about 10 million people. And of course, we're talking about China. So it's a unique experience of Hefei city, and these representatives of the city were in Kazan about 2 weeks ago, and we had some agreement. about mutual cooperation. And as a result of this agreement, at today's roundtable, so Vice Mayor Zhao Min.
Уважаемый мэр Медшин, дамы и господа, друзья, всем здравствуйте. Меня зовут Джао Мин, я вице-мэр города Хэфэй, провинции Аньхой из Китая. Очень рада, что меня пригласили принять участие в международном форуме Казань Digital Week. От имени муниципального народного правительства Хэфэй я хотел бы тепло поздравить вас с проведением этого форума. Хэфэй – столица провинции Аньхой и центральный город городской агломерации дельты реки Янцзы. Город окружает озеро Чаоху, одно из 5 крупнейших пресноводных озер Китая. А вокруг расстилаются красивые пейзажи. В управлении Хэфэй сейчас находится 9 районов и 4 крупных зоны развития общей площадью 11 400 квадратных километров и фактическим населением 12 344 000 человек. Хэфэй – это не только древний город с историей, насчитывающий более 3000 лет, но и современный первоклассный город, быстро развивающийся благодаря технологиям и инновациям.
急剧发展，人工智能产业入选国家首批占星产业集群，合肥已位列中国人工智能城市榜单前列。合肥聚焦人工智能在民生服务、社会治理、智慧城市、智能工厂、智慧能源等众多领域的落地应用。在医疗、教育等方面，人工智能应用已赋能合肥的百姓的日常生活。例如，基于智能硬件、人工智能技术等，建立了完备的分型心肺音数据库，可实现心肺疾病的辅助诊断及早期筛查。不仅能帮助医生提高诊断效率，还可将心肺疾病的筛查扩展到家庭场景，方便病人自查。在教育方面，人工智能个性化教学系统可以通过课堂、教学互动、学生学习表现等动态数据，为师生量身定制教学和学习，提升学习效果。在社会服务和城市管理领域，人工智能展现了丰富的应用场景。智慧消防物联网系统提供了火灾防控自动化、灭火救援指挥智能化等服务。借助人工智能、物联网等新一代技术，让人工智能成为守护消防安全的智能战士。基于人工智能技术，还可以对交通设施进行隐患排查，及时发现设施设置不规范、运行异常等问题。基于5G 大数据打造的智慧社区平台，通过对社区基础数据的人工智能统计分析，实现房屋防空质管理、智能水电表、智慧门锁、智慧烟感气感等智能化管理。今年9月8日，合肥市代表团赴喀山参加萌芽俄罗斯和中国互利合作国际论坛，期间两市签署深化交流合作谅解备忘录，成为见证两市友谊的里程碑，翻开了合作交流的新篇章，为双方合作共赢、共同发展注入了时代精神和蓬勃动力。合肥与喀山虽然相隔万里，却有众多相通之处。喀山坐落在伏尔加河畔，合肥位于巢湖之滨，都有着秀丽的自然风光、良好的产业基础和独具魅力的历史文化。两市发展既有相似性，又有互补性。我们期待同喀山市一道，加强全方位交流，深化多领域合作，推动两市友好往来迈向新高度。最后，诚挚邀请市长先生适时访问合肥，预祝本次喀山数字周国际论坛圆满成功，祝愿喀山市繁荣发展，人民幸福安康，祝愿两市友谊地久天长。谢谢大家。
Давайте поблагодарим госпожу Джао Мин.
Let's thank Ms. Zhao Min, so she corrected me, and you heard that it's 10 million people, and the population is bigger than 2.5 million. So it's a 12 million. And so, well, thank you very much, Chinese colleagues. So they have priceless experience, and they have a lot of these big cities in China. And now we're greeting this our colleagues from Belarus. We're going to Minsk now. And Nadezhda Lazarevich is with us. She is right here with us offline. And correct me if I'm wrong. So this is the first time in this event and Kazan Digital Weekend. Nadezhda, so we heard about the smart city project, North Bank. So this is it's a very, very nice, very beautiful name, almost romantic. So why and what that means, smart city? What kind of project is it? Good afternoon, dear participants, dear Surovicevich. Let me thank you for this invitation to participate in this forum. And for us, it is this topic is very important. And the capital of Republic of Belarus is striving to follow the trends and to be modern. But having visited today exhibition Kazan Digital, I saw how Kazan is developing, and I saw how regions of Russian Federations are developing and using intellectual systems. There are a lot of things to learn from you. But in my presentation, I would like to tell you a little bit about our achievements, and I'll try to tell you why our project North Bank is so unique, so peculiar. And I will have to argue with you that the tastiest food you make in Ulan-Ude, now in Belarus, we have the tastiest product. So let me challenge you about the quality of our food. And so the main message of main task, main objective of our smart city system is to make our life of our people better in spite of the artificial intelligence potential and the growing number of countries which are using it very actively. Artificial intelligence for government management, it's a matter of research, and it does bring a number of legal problems and issues and challenges. Nevertheless, I would like to share with you and tell you about the prospects of the Minsk development. So, according to our concept, we identify several directions in development of the smart city: the city management, smart utility companies, smart public safety, smart communication system, and smart public systems, smart education, and healthcare. And the future, of course, belongs to the high technologies, but the future is coming, and what yesterday seemed fantasy now makes our life undoubtedly more convenient, more comfortable. And this is the main idea of smart city. Smart City and North Bank. On the North Bank project, we plan to have the Artificial Intelligence Institute and the training center for the AI technologies. This concept, this is for new generation, where we plan to provide high living standards for people through using innovation technologies. Why this project is unique? Because we have foreign investors, United Arab Emirates, and this is their proposal to have in one of the districts of Minsk to have a really high-tech intellectual district for people of Minsk. So what's going to happen in this district? So we will have the automated paperwork for people, smart public system, transportation system, automatic parking, information system, the smart utility companies, integrated government services center, smart home, smart house systems. And nowadays in Minsk, we digitalized more assistance to the medical healthcare system. It optimizes work of the doctors and the system, and it helps to work our system as one team. And of course, it improves the health of the people and lifespan as well. We have a number of electronic medical services, beginning from informing people for the actually different kinds of medical consulting, X-ray consulting in the national project of National Academy. And we are successfully testing the telemedicine system, communication between doctor and patient. I'll try to speak very quickly so I remember about timing. So I will tell you very briefly about our timing, and later on I'll answer your questions. So all medical facilities are connected with the electronic system, and all paperwork is done through this system, so doctors can prescribe electronically necessary medicine. And we developed the centralized medical care system in which we plan to move to moving to the electronic database for about every person, beginning from the birthday date. For the newborn babies. So transportation system based on AI helps us to redistribute traffic flow in rush hour. And those of you who visited Minsk, they say that we don't have traffic jam. Yes, but this is one of the achievements system which we implement in our city management center. This is the traffic management system. So that people can plan their maneuvers in the city, the transportation, the bus routes, and how people can get from A to B in the best possible way. So for passengers, public transport, so we have a unified transport by computer system where in real time they show how buses and trams go around the city, and we implemented it not only in the capital but in some other big cities as well, so that you can plan your moving in the around Minsk area. So yeah, we can see it, and we have this computerized logistics. And we have also, of course, mobile applications for smartphones, which became possible through integration of the different separate transportation systems. It helps us to monitor how buses move and trams move, and help us to monitor all bus and tram routes. So all the time, yes. So yes, thank you very much. Yes, and Minsk is developing educational space which consists of such elements: corporate electronic email, educational facilities, the automated system of data processing, and we also have the open platform for education, electronic registers, and we even implement this year the electronic catering, so that our children, when they come to a cafeteria and want to buy chocolate and or something like that, and so, but parents can ban it, any purchasing, and they monitor what the children can eat. So we monitor what children can eat in cafeteria. For example, if it's cannot do it for medical reasons. I told you about transportation and school, and of course, I would like to say also that in Minsk, not everything is as good as I'm telling you. We have a lot of things to talk about. I work in ITE. This is new for me, so I came here to Kazan. I have already learned a lot already about what we have to do, what we have to implement. And I think that we can implement any other systems, and I'm all for managerial decisions made by people. And as I do believe that for now, neural networks cannot replace a human being in emergency situation. As for Alice assistant, yes, you can do it so, but you can have Alice very soon. And I believe that we will continue our joint work, and Kazan will stay in my heart, and I'm sure that we'll be moving in the proper direction and increase our fraternal relations.
Думаю, что
It's the first time you are coming, and I'm confident you will immediately start having contacts that are professionally responding to the questions you are having, even after you go back to Minsk, so that you continue interacting remotely. Now, the question has been raised, speaking about AI, that AI can't yet replace a human in city administration. I would like to hear who thinks what, because I always going back to Elon Musk, who keeps on telling that we need to be limiting, because with us is the mayor of the city of Innopolis, Ruslan Shagalev, a city where all the novelties are being tested, including AI, city management, etc. Can you please tell us about things that are we discussing, for example, the concerns that maybe a governor's neural assistant would be against them? Well, you know what? With neural assistants, you have to be careful. Well, maybe neural assistantesses. Well, good afternoon, everybody, once again. Thank you, Mayor Merchan, for inviting me to the session. I believe it's not a coincidence. We have heard today a number of cases of implementation using AI neural networks. And in the city of Innopolis, we have Innopolis University, based on which AI institute was established and working effectively. That is a body that is developing all the algorithms and neural networks, which then the clients, commercial, municipal, etc., are using their work. AI Institute is working in medicine, image identification, as well as, of course, traffic optimization and driver transportation, and all other AI applications are being covered by the university. Here at the expo, during Kazan Digital Week, we are having an Innopolis stand, and there you can see and test the way Neural Artist is working. That's a development of the university students, and you can try using it if you're curious to find out the way AI is organized and how is it different from the regular IT systems. The topic of my brief presentation, I understand the timing, so I won't even be delving into all the opportunities, things that AI allows us in daily life. Let me just touch on the important points. AI is very much transforming the regular lifestyle. Quoting our example, food delivery is being done by Yandex rovers. We've got 17 of them. And upon implementation of their in daily life, we are only now having 2 human delivery agents. We are also having driverless taxis since 2018. And that's an example of the way the future taxi market would look like in majority of the cities of the world. People will be using robotaxis. Here, maybe some prospects, but moving forward. But I'd like to stress your attention here. Rapid development of AI, on top of all the advantages, is also bringing a global challenge to us as a society, and us, the representatives of municipal authorities, have to understand these and respond timely manner. Here I copy the slide from Sberbank presentation about the development megatrends and draw your attention on the way modern technologies, including AI, influence social transformation. That's a divergence of society, polarization in the level of access to technologies. People living in megapolises are having greater opportunities, greater resources, access to technology, as well as a global labor market transformation. Something I would like to speak on more. We have heard vocal assistant. We've talked about Vika. In Innopolises, our code is Inna. We have a concierge service. Over the total time frame of existence, a concierge service has serviced 500,000, whilst Inna, which is only 3-year-old, has covered over 3 million requests. And in that sense, we understand that call centers are moving towards passing it to AI, because AI is addressing oftentimes these things better. Today we have seen an example of us contacting in Chinese and in Turkish. Modern time neural networks can assure online interpretation, keeping at the same time the specifics of pronunciation of the speaker. That way, the interpretation market is likely to go through some changes. Timing, yes. Myself being an interpreter some 5 years ago, not 5 years ago, sorry, 25 years ago, when I was studying that, my colleagues are working for us. Let's give them a round of applause. There was the so-called science called humanitarian and applied sciences, and it was being said, well, just what is that machine translation? Where does it work? Nowadays, Turing test, and there you go. Yes, and artistic interpretation is done much better thanks to neural networks. Another example I would like to share with you. A boy living in the United States could not be diagnosed for many years, stopped growing at the age of 4, started seeing some challenges related to his backbone, and all the symptoms being uploaded into ChatGPT gave exact diagnosis. And after the surgery based on this, the child has been healed. Meaning in this very practice, AI started jumping ahead of us. I believe we should not be fighting against this trend, but we should be adapting thereto. Thus, the city community, the municipality should start thinking this way. That's, of course, we need to be thinking about adaptation of people that are being released from niches that are being taken by AI. We need to give them new projects, new skills, organized cooperation. For example, many artists are preparing design projects, buildings, etc., together with AI. In this sense, they are being some directors, whilst the operators' work is being done by AI. This is something municipalities should be doing so that their residents would be where they are needed in the economy, so that they have money to pay for their expenses, for them to be happy, assuring the well-being of the city. Let's give a round of applause, because the head of the city that doesn't make an objective of putting an objective of making the residents happy as they can. Let us welcome the head of the delegation from Tashkent, a very dynamically developing city, Mr. Shohrut Gairat Ogli Rahimjanov. Let's give a round of applause. The floor is yours. What can Tashkent impress us with here? Hello, dear colleagues, participants of Kazan Digital Week International Forum. I'm sincerely happy to be welcoming you at this important international forum, which is opening up a new chapter in the development of our cities. It's a great pleasure to be welcoming you on behalf of the Hakimiyat of the city of Tashkent. Today, our city administration is actively working on the development of digital infrastructure, supporting the development of startup ecosystems, concentrating on development of smart urban solutions, keeping in mind the importance of development of the advanced technological solutions. In order to assure the comfort for both residents and guests of the capital of Uzbekistan, we are successfully implementing these technologies in our operation. To achieve these objectives, the city administration of Tashkent has established the Department of Digital Development. It has implemented work on the digitalization of the city of Tashkent. Geoinformation system is created, popular control portal that is organizing interaction with citizens, responding and integrating with different municipal services, plus integrating with the country-level services to assure seamless passage or supply of information from various levels of databases. This has allowed us to assure that we are having the digital environment meeting our needs. At the moment, the map of Tashkent that we have developed is the best available electronic map of Tashkent from existing around the world. On top of that, we have did the homework of digitizing the maps of development of Tashkent since end of the 19th century, which was an important achievement. We have identified the location of the 12 gates. The city of Tashkent historically had 12 gates entry. At the moment, we are having 12 districts, and half of the central district, Ashantakh-Kursky, which is very large, was the ancient city of Tashkent, and there were 12 gates leading into the city. Using digital OCR recognition of maps, we have identified the exact places where those gates have been there. The ones that were the location of which was lost at the end of the 19th century, that has helped us to identify our cultural heritage history. In the beginning of the 2022, the head of our country has assessed the work, highly appraised the work of our IT department, and he requested that the work and the services of ours will be covering all the municipalities of the country. It's an important work that would allow both the population and the population and the guests and businesses of the country to be accessing all the digital format services. In conclusion, we are constantly moving forward, and we have all come together here in Kazan to exchange our experiences and innovations that would make our cities more comfortable for living and more resilient. Thank you very much for your attention, for your warm welcome, for your contribution into the development of global technologies, as well as for your aspiration to be making our city, as well as the planet, a more sustainable, reliable place for living. Let us be building the future together. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahimjanov. I'm looking at the list of presenters, and second time we are connecting with Turkey. This time we are happy to welcome Secretary General of the City of Ankara, Rashid Serhat Tashkansup. The floor is yours, sir.
Dear mayors and participants, I would like to start my presentation respectfully greeting you on behalf of the municipality and express gratitude for the opportunity to exchange on smart city projects and applications, which undoubtedly will favor the operations of local governments for the well-being of the citizens of the cities. I'll be informing you about our projects and goals we have implemented since 2019, which can be considered and valued among the smart city applications. But first, let me start with a brief information about Ankara and our municipality. Ankara is the capital city of Republic of Turkey, which we are celebrating the 100th anniversary this year. It's also the 100th anniversary of Ankara becoming the capital city. Considering Turkey in general, Ankara is the second most populous city after Istanbul. It consists of 25 districts in total, 8 of which are densely populated central districts. This represents the 3% of the area of Ankara, which is 25,000 square meters. Although there is predominantly public employee base in Ankara, the private sector, foreign missions representatives, and universities are also quite common. The fact that it is a city that has hosted centuries and civilizations, the founding center of the republic, and it is located in the heart of Turkey gives different importance. Now, let me tell you a little about our municipality, and then we'll continue with what we do. So, Ankara Metropolitan Municipality consists of 36 departments, 2 enterprises, EGO, the bus company, ASKI, the water utility company, and 18 subsidiary companies that are responsible for the service of 25 districts. We operate in approximately 300 service buildings with approximately 36,000 people. The building you are currently... Well, from the perspective of smart city, as you know, implementing new technologies and innovations through cooperation between stakeholders using innovative approaches, using mining data, while using expertise, generating solutions that add value to anticipating future problems or needs, becoming more livable and sustainable cities are called smart cities by our definition. Within this context, from 2019 to present, we have emphasized on projects that provide data circulation throughout the city, generate solutions in public applications, facilitate social service in general, implements measurable dynamics. This is on projects that provide rapid access to information, giving utmost focus to environmental friendly solutions. And governance principle refer to transformation from a relationship in which one party manages the other party to set up relations in which mutual interactions emerge. For this reason, we attach importance to being accountable to society, managing the municipality in a transparent manner, information what we did right or wrong, and provide explanations. The European Union calls this governance principle transparency and accountability. In line with this principle, as soon as we took over the office in 2019, we started to share our monthly municipal assembly session and our tenders in every context with the public through ABB web team that we have established. We became the first public institution to implement this action in Turkey. Thus, as of 2019, we have added a different dimension to the of social municipalism in Turkey with these practices. Our snowplow tracking system is one new application. Similarly, every winter we activate the fleet of snowplows that we monitor with cameras and GPRS in order to both inform the public and control the operations. The reason I am saying that we are activating it is because some of our vehicles take part in different duties throughout the year and go on winter duty without attachment installed. This application was also at first in Turkey and became very popular. In fact, we break viewing records almost every year on days when it's snow. Up until now, it has been watched by 2,000, 5,000 people, 205,000 people. I should point out that, of course, our personnel and vehicle numbers change depending on snowfall rate and points that we take care of. Every season, the number is assigned every year. And we have also initiated a smart city municipality individuals who request social assistance. The number, which was 175,000 in 2019, climbed to 365,000 during the COVID-19 period. Now it is around 220,000 people. In the period before 2019, social assistance was provided by the persons with predetermined content. We established the capital city Başkent by exemplifying the digitization of social municipalism. With this card, families can organize their shopping list in line with their own needs that is supported with social assistance deposited by our municipality. The system is integrated with the MasterCard as well. By that means the card provides where any MasterCard can be.
Я прошу прощения, я
And we
понимаю, что
also
у нас
have
проблемы со...
that accelerates any easy
Я прошу прощения, господин...
Mr. Serhat, we seem to be having very difficult connection. We are losing half of your packets. Unfortunately, our interpreters are unable to make sense of whatever they hear. We would need to maybe reboot connection in order to be able to understand what you are truly meaning. We would go on to the following presentation and request our technicians to reconnect with you.
Tyumen is a very big industrial center, and the Tyumen region, in their experience in implementation of artificial intelligence, was given the award, the Smart City in Krasnoyarsk, and we are hosting today Vladimir Kiltau, mayor of the city, and we'll be talking about the artificial intelligence as a modern instrument for the city management, but please not more 5 times. Dear Suravisovich, dear colleagues, dear participants of the roundtable, on behalf of the head of Tyumen city, and I thank very much for the possibility to exchange experience on this forum. And again, let me say that we are very happy to be here in hospitable Kazan. So let's get to the topic of my presentation, and let's get through the video which we released with the help of artificial intelligence, please. The share of the urban population is growing very fast, and managing the city infrastructure is not easy with analog methods. So that is why more and more we have to involve artificial intelligence, and the Tyumen management team tries to follow this trend. And we develop a lot of IT systems based on artificial intelligence, and we implement them all over Russia. A neural network is used in urban planning, in utility companies. And in this city, we are using the intellectual systems with the support for decision making, and the indicators of its reliability improved in 9%. And we fix, and thousands of cameras are used in different models for face recognition and image recognition, as when the government of the Tyumen district obliged the urban planners to provide a necessary connection with a close CCTV system. And last year in our region, we started using smart traffic lights. We calculate traffics, and we manage the traffic lights work. It is able to recognize 6 types of transportation vehicles, and also cameras follow the situation with the traffic in crossroads. And if something wrong with the road infrastructure, we get information immediately. So mobile intellectual systems identifies the problems with the road and problems with the road signs as well. Chatbots and voice assistants also are used very actively in the city management. The meters indicators in all utility services is processed through Zhanna artificial intelligence assistants, and we have one more robot in Tyumen. The virtual assistant recognizes speech and synthesizes answers to the questions, and this system works in a test pilot mode, but we already are able to involve our citizens about problems with the utility companies and repair works. Thanks to these cakes, we got a lot of people who are happy because they save a lot of times on their routine work and they can help them spend their time more useful with their families. And the local government works very actively on creating digital twin. We already launched electronic assistance for the real estate management. It also helps us to create special maps and give tasks to the subcontractors. And we plan to move on and to make these processes automatic with the artificial intelligence assistance. All these measures help us to move on and to improve life and safety standards for our people. Well, we showed you the main trends, how we plan to use artificial intelligence, and I'm very glad that Kazan, as Isura told us, Kazan has been using these technologies already in the road control systems and in some other directions. So I believe that we can do a lot of things together. And as we said, we are awarded by the National Prize for the Smart Systems Development in the Cities. And when we were coming here to Kazan, we are hosting Oil and Gas Forum, on which our governors signed the approval of the new strategy for the social sphere development of the region. And we also organized the project office for the implementation of the artificial intelligence. I think that all of these things will give additional impulse to our work, which will help all of us, all citizens, and will make our life more comfortable and better in our region. Well, thank you very much. A round of applause, please. And now we go to Khabarovsk. And we have first Deputy Mayor for Economics, Grigory Mikhalovsky, please. Dear Suravisovich, dear colleagues, you have presentation? And I would like to join to thanks of my colleagues for your hospitality here, and I would like to share my experience, what we have in Khabarovsk. And nowadays we have been doing a lot for digitalization of our city, and we managed to implement a lot of measures so that our urban now we have created more than 120 different services in different areas. And let me briefly tell you about our newest achievements. So this is AIS system. It's housing and communal services. So it helps us to monitor servicing companies about cleaning of roofs from ice and snow. It's very important for us. And for example, being in the office, we can online monitor how the utility companies follow our orders and safety standards. And then artificial intelligence helps us in the reduction of time for the entire complex of works on the road system, and it is very efficient. And for example, it helps us to monitor the quality of the road work. So it helps us to coordinate work between utility companies and the road workers. And the available environment, so-called, which has electronic map of the accessibility of different objects of the urban infrastructure, public transportation, people with limited physical abilities, for example. And we also have this integrated system which monitors the traffic system and which has artificial voice assistance, which helps people with the impaired vision. And we implemented this system on different places in Russian Federation. And we implement artificial intelligence, and we started doing these things with the safety issues for people. And we implemented face recognition system, and according to statistics of police department in Khabarovsk, in the area where we have surveillance cameras, the crime rate decreased 80%, and for 10 years we see this tendency of decreasing criminal crime decrease. And we also have this image recognition people. And one more area in which is very useful with artificial intelligence, it's a road infrastructure system. And we talked a lot about these things, that many cities use this system, but it's a very, very good system, very useful, which we have implemented already, and it's used very widely. Yes, of course, we have a special monitoring system. When we see some deviations from the norm, so we immediately see it, and so we can react very quickly. So to sum up my presentation, so the technologies are developing and improving very quickly. And yes, it is very unusual for us to delegate our powers to machines, but it's just a matter of time. So because technology are penetrating in all spheres of our lives, and the earlier we'll be able to trust intellectual system, the less human resources we will have to use, and the more chances we'll have to use human resources more efficiently to improve lives in our cities. Thank you very much for this very good presentation. With the help of Roman Istratov, we'll go to, and Roman is with us here, so we will go to Kaluga city, and now we will understand why we look at artificial intelligence from different viewpoints. So, Roman, please tell us, please, about your hospitality program. Well, dear friends, the artificial intelligence, well, it's probably just too big thing for us, but nevertheless we use such systems. And can I have my presentation, please? What I would like to begin with, in Kaluga, the Smart City project has been implemented from 2019, and we started this with the signing contract with the Ministry of Russian Federation. We signed special roadmap in this area, and so this roadmap included or includes the digitalization of 7 main areas, which you see here on the screen. And we came to a conclusion that all these directions to a certain extent impact on tourist attractiveness of the city. And that is why we went along this way, and we set a task: how can we tell tourists about the points of interest in our city, and why it is worth coming to Kaluga. So that is why there was the main reason main reason why we developed this program. And we started developing this project very actively when we got this problem with COVID pandemic. We didn't have any tourists at that time, but we understood that we had to look into the future. And thanks to this program, we managed to have this showcase for the tourists in this city. And this program helped us to build some kind of a navigator between the points of interest and hospitality in our city. We participated in 3 big projects. Kaluga, it's a New York capital. The 650 years anniversary from Kaluga Foundation, and the Masters of Hospitality. So after we finished writing this program, we designed the site of the program, and from this site we moved to the we made a mobile application, Kaluga Hospitality. So anybody can use this application, any city dweller can use this application. So the program transformed from navigation program to loyalty program, and now we are moving to having a fully blown and fully ready guest card for anybody. So the loyal program is nothing new. This is a typical program of the accruing bonus points, accumulation bonus points, but it became possible only with the help of this application. This program helped us a lot to collect a lot of information on one site, on one platform, and to promote it as one brand, as one platform, and helped a lot to our hospitality industry. And we used all available tools and instruments. We did it in Moscow Metro, in the neighboring cities with Canola. So we organized cross-promotion events, and our colleagues learned a lot from us, and it was mutually beneficial. So you see, so it was kind of a synergetic effect, and because we moved on to digitalizations of the touristic industry, which again set new goals and new objectives for us in terms of development of the city, to make the city more attractive and better, more comfortable for our guests, and of course for these people themselves. It was kind of a circle. So tourism was the reason for development and the consequence of our development at the same time. And of course, it impacts on all spheres, which we have mentioned on this slide. Well, timing, please. And I'm rounding up, I'm finishing, and as a result, we saw that in 2021, in terms of touristic traffic, we had more intensive traffic than before COVID, and the results are quite promising. Yeah, we do have some challenges, and we have to think about a lot, because statistics in tourism, it's sometimes not very reliable, but nevertheless we do have instruments using which we can develop statistical database, and as a measure of the further development, statistics of tourism, probably it makes sense to use tourism indicator in the IIQ description. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
всех мероприятий.
All the events in Kazan are being attended by guests from Kazakhstan. Astana is the capital with which Tatarstan is implementing many of the best projects, sending representatives to exchange best practices. Today we are having Nakimov Norinsky district of Astana, Jusuf Jumagulov. Good afternoon, dear participants of the round table. And then speaking in Tatar, dear Zoresovich, thank you for your hospitality. Throughout the millennia, we are having very strong relationships in languages, culture, and next year we'll celebrate 20 years anniversary of sister city relationship. We have established all the dimensions of trade, commerce, tourism, education, etc. Now the smart city interaction would also be a dimension. We are very happy that Kazan has become in top 3 in the digitalization of economy. Together with its sister city, Astana is working in this dimension. It's not just digitalization process, but international standards and achievement of United Nations Sustainable Development objectives. Today is in the top 25 Intelligent Community Forum. It's also ahead Moscow, Warsaw, and Rome in the indexes. The research group has demonstrated high level of innovation support in the city. At the same time, this year one of the key dimensions is the certification through 3,720 urban environments, and the effective digital solutions are supporting us here as well. I believe two capitals have wonderful objectives and the achievements that can be shared. In Astana, we are having a unique dialogue allowing us to organize interaction with the city with the residents. Beginning 2018, ICOMEC is 109 service is eyes and ears of the capital, assuring calls safety, security, effectiveness, all the levels. ICOMEC system has integrated over 27,000 video surveillance. Thus, central operators are not just receiving the request, but also monitoring situation. It has recommended itself as preventive response area. In winter, cameras are used to survey the areas where snow is not removed, garbage, etc. That's the way the center is optimizing the work. ICOMEC today is a part and parcel of Smart City. In the course of 5 years of the operation, over 11 million calls request was received. 81% of the requests are being resolved at first address. Annually, we are increasing the number of CCTV cameras. At the moment, over 27,000 cameras that are not just documenting vandalism, disclosed residential services challenges, but also other aspects such as death level in case of accidents decreased 48, number of administrative offenses decreased 72, and crime by 67. Our objective is to lower various damage issues and improve the quality to the levels of Singapore, London, Dubai, and others using AI. Implementation of ITS is a success. A set of software and hardware to effectively regulate transportation flows and optimization of the street service. 42% of the city is covered. 1/3 of traffic lights are adaptive traffic lights. By 2025, we would increase such traffic lights by up to 80%. ICOMEC and digital infrastructure of the city is something that residents are working day to day. But we went on further. We having identified the target audience that would simplify the time effects as well as the effectiveness for the city. We have created iQala as urban services. We have simplified the processes following real estate procurement as well as services of various communal services. So iQala, for the last 4 years, when they are buying apartments, they're not going to 3 to 4 to 7 offices. They can file an application online. New apartment owners can get all the relationships established within up to 30 minutes to get all the services in place. On top of iConnect and iQala, 86 functions have been implemented. 600 more functions to be digitized by the end through 2027. Over 500 services in various dimensions of education, investment, tourism, social security, ownership, etc., would be digitalized. We are actively engaging startups, young entrepreneurs through events where startups can demonstrate their ideas and get opportunities for the implementation of pilots with further installation. Simple solutions are defined by the country-level digitalization iGov, Kaspi.z, when you can get your vehicles, legalize foreign car, etc., are a topic considered in Ivy League universities. We are going to tens and hundreds of state services are moving into one single window, cutting off the bureaucracy, saving time, making the environment simpler, reliable. Concluding my report, the digitalization of services is meant for people, so we are to be implementing this process in the optimal benefit for the residents. Thank you, Shabrasakh. Right now, the floor is given to one of the chairmen that are in the implementation of the city management. We are being connected by Dmitry Antoyev, the IT services. Dmitry Antoyev. Thank you. I'd like to thank for the invitation to speak at this round table. Very pleasant to be hearing the discussion and understand that AI technologies are being implemented in many cities and that urban city authorities understand the importance of AI for the management. No single large megapolis can be managed without AI, which is why I would like to talk about a few cases. The Department of IT of Moscow, jointly with other bodies of authority, are implementing over 300 digital projects a year. These are projects in all the areas of urban development, healthcare, education, economy, security, and everywhere this city administration tasks are being resolved thanks to the opportunities offered by AI. We are offering many services through MOS-ID. Over 200 services are accessible electronically alone. Altogether, we are having some 80 specific solutions based on AI. I can, of course, go into each of them, but I would prefer to stress a few key projects. These are projects related to AI, related data provision. Moscow has a large community of developers, and we know that when we are providing data for the city level big data that has never been personalized, we are developing new scenarios for AI use, and that way we are helping the market to be working more effectively with these technologies. And for that, we have created a special project called AI MOS.ru, which is aggregating both city projects as well as offering the data that can be provided. That is the data on the city processes, everything the city can use to both share with the developers as well as for training new generations, as well as AI solutions. We have heard about voice assistants a number of times during the session. Moscow respective robots are being implemented. The robot of ours exists for about 10 years. It has become very important during the time of pandemic, when the amount of calls has peaked to 3 million a month, and the robot was processing over 90% of the calls. Then also, a robot is irreplaceable when monthly metering various water, gas, electricity, other meter data is being collected and put into the system. Over 90% of them is there. Next case I would like to demonstrate is in healthcare, when appointment is organized. When interaction is organized in the office as well. Of course, all the decisions are being done by doctors, but all that the symptoms that are being put into the system, they are themselves giving preliminary possible diagnosis, giving options. This is limiting the amount of time that doctor is spending for data input, and instead that time is being spent to work with the patient and work with him. On top of that, Moscow also has a number of neural networks based on analysis of data, CAT scans and MRIs, and drawing attention to what the doctor should pay special attention to. Next case would be a digital twin of Moscow smart city. First here is accumulated big data. Second is AI services that are having a through effect. And the third element, of course, managerial solutions, decisions made by the city authorities. At the moment, we are having multi-layers of data, whilst AI is helping us to be developing this digital twin. For example, removing vehicles on our air photography to get the map, or to develop dynamic layers, or project things on video surveillance. Overall, Moscow has went through an important path in the building of a digital ecosystem, and we are ready to be sharing our experience with other cities and countries. One of the projects we are ready to share is MozHub project, a library with a digital code similar to GitHub and GitLab, where you can store code in the secure environment. We have plenty of interesting projects that we are happy to share with. And should you reach out, we will, of course, everybody will, of course, be reaching out to Moscow Experience. We have already said that AI technologies in the capital of the country is a flagship project that will be beneficial to all those that have come here. Well, I guess it's about time that we draw certain conclusions out of what we do. Thank you very much, Dmitry. You're always with us. The discussion is coming to an end. Our joint work is about to get renewed. The positive experience of the cities is meant that we are using this for the benefit. I'm grateful to the organizers of the forum. I believe that the gatherings here will become very important, exchanging experiences, and it would be very important that we use this in practice for the benefit of our residents. I'm confident that everything we have discussed today and everything we have seen at the exhibit will be helpful to our work. Always happy to see you in Kazan. Thank you. Good, productive, and kind work, first of all. Thank you.